Hey guys, in this video I am going to talk to you about how to gain muscle in your 30s. You'll be pleased to know that it's definitely possible, especially if you follow the 4 tips that I'm going to share with you in this video today. Plus I have a bonus tip for you, so make sure you stick around to the end. Who the bloody hell am I to give advice? Well, I am in this age category. I am 34 years old, father of 1, partner of 1, and I am still going through my journey of building muscle, so I am here to share my experience and to give you some tips. So let's dive in. Okay, so for obvious reasons, you need to be doing resistance training. So that means you need to be going to the gym and you need to be lifting weights. You have to train specifically for building muscle, and that requires you to go to the gym and lift weights. But this first tip is make sure you're trying to hit each muscle group at least twice per week. We've come a long way since the bro science days of chest day Monday, back day Tuesday, that we actually now know that we need to train our muscles a little bit more frequently than just hammering it once a week. Hammering it once a week. So I would like for you to train each body part twice a week. So it really depends on how many days a week you're going to dedicate to training, whether that's 3 days a week, 4 days a week, or 5 days a week. I don't suggest any more than that, or any less, to be honest. You're going to have trouble gaining muscle if you're only going 2 days a week, and going 6 or 7 days a week. 7 definitely not. 6 is too much in my opinion. 5's arguably too much. I would say 3 or 4, and just structuring your training around those. If you're doing a 3-day-a-week split, I would do a lower body day, an upper body day, and then a full body day. You've got all your bases covered there. If you're doing a 4-day-a-week, you can spread the same amount of volume across 4 days instead, and you can do a lower body day, upper body day, lower body day, upper body day. Thank you and good night. Okay. So that is your first tip, to train each body part twice per week. My second tip is that you need to be training hard. Okay, you can't be going into the gym and just giving it a bit of the old You've got to go in there and bloody give it some, you know what I mean? Okay, so that means that you need to be training hard, you need to be lifting moderately heavy weights, of course relative to you as a person and your capabilities, but you need to be pushing yourself. And so I often see, what's the best rep range for building muscle, and people ask that question, and really you can build muscle in any rep range. I recommend staying higher than 5 reps, but what's the most important thing is proximity to failure. And what I mean by that is the number of reps you do is not as important as how close that set is to you reaching failure within that set with the weight that you're using. So let's say you jump on a leg extension machine and you put it on 10 plates. I don't even know how much weight that is, but you put it on level 10 on the leg extension machine. Your program says 3 sets of 10. So you do 3 sets of 10 and it's on level 10, but you could have done 20 reps. That is a huge waste of time. You've saved 10 reps in the tank on every set that you're not even close to failure. You are not going to generate enough stimulus for muscle growth by doing that. You want to be pushing up using that same weight. You want to be either pushing up to 18, 19 or even 20 reps, going all the way up to failure or just shy of failure with that weight for that rep range for you to generate that muscle growth stimulus. Or if you want to be failing closer to 10, you need to use a heavier weight. But the most important thing is proximity to failure. So if your plan says one thing, don't worry about deviating away from that, because the most important thing is how close you are to failure. So that means that there's no hiding place. If the piece of paper says 10 reps, doesn't mean you stop at 10 if you've got a few more reps in the tank. Now you've got to be careful with which exercises you apply this to, because if you have a big compound movement like a back squat or a deadlift, you need to be a little bit more cautious. Think about more like technical failure. When is your form going to start to break down? You don't want to push to complete and utter failure on a back squat or a deadlift, because you're really going to risk injuring yourself. But something like a leg extension or a bicep curl, something like an isolation movement like that, you can push to failure and it can be very safe, and you're not going to feel too much fatigue from that kind of thing. So get to bloody work. Tip number 3 is to eat a protein-rich diet. Your body is going through a process of turning over muscle protein and protein within the body, and so you need to be providing your body with enough protein to recover and rebuild muscle tissue. I recommend trying to get around 1 gram per pound of lean body mass that you have. 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass on a daily basis. For me, let's say for example, I weigh around 200 pounds, and let's say I'm around 20% body fat. That would be 40 pounds, so it means I'm 160 pounds of lean body mass. So that means I would aim for around 160 grams of protein per day. That's quite manageable. If you're relatively lean, like I could go up to 180 grams. In fact, that is my target, 180 grams of protein per day. You don't need to go way more than that for, let's say you weigh 220 pounds and you're relatively lean. You don't need to go to 240, you could just stick at 220. There's no need to go more. But eating a protein-rich diet, which a lot of people have trouble getting to, can be very, very helpful in building muscle. Point number 4, get plenty of sleep. Making sure that you're getting between 7.5 to 9 hours sleep per night, every night, as consistently as possible, is really, really important, because your body is fatigued from, physical and mental stress that you go through at work, at the gym, and it needs to recover, and it recovers when you're asleep. And you have to be able to function properly, both like physically and on a hormonal level. If you want to be hormonally functioning properly and you want to be well rested and be able to train hard, you need to be getting your sleep in. It's super important. Somebody that's lacking sleep is going to lack focus in the gym and outside of the gym, and it's going to be really difficult to gain muscle if your body is high in cortisol, which is going to be the case if you are lacking in sleep. So making sure you are prioritizing sleep. Okay, nothing to be proud of if you have 4 or 5 hours sleep per night, okay? Those times are long gone. It's time to go to bed, mate. You know what I mean? Get to bed. Okay, guys, here is the bonus. The final point that I want to make here is fall in love with the process and be consistent with your program, because building muscle takes time, regardless of your age, okay? You can do it, especially in your 30s. You're still a young buck, trust me, okay? But it still takes time to build muscle. You've got to turn up at the gym and you've got to fall in love with the process. So, making sure you go into the gym, you're trying to lift a little heavier over time, maybe every week you add a pound or do an extra rep. And that's just a process you've got to really fall in love with and keep hitting up and keep going back for more. And so if you can really enjoy it, you are going to be setting yourself up for success, because you can't build muscle across a 3-month period and then just be done with it. You've got to buy into this as a lifestyle and really, really enjoy the process and reap the benefits of being absolutely Judi Dench, mate. You know what I mean? If you don't know what I'm talking about, neither do I, but I think I mean jacked. So you've got to love the process. I love the process, love hitting up the gym, and that's what's going on. Okay, guys, if you don't know where to start, message me on Instagram, okay? If you need a program, I will send you a program for free. Just message me on Instagram, say you've seen the video and you'd like to have a free program. I'll ask you for your email and I'll just send it over to you, no problem at all, okay? I've got some templates. I'm happy to share them with you. Just drop me a line and there we go. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and like it. It really helps me out. And thanks a lot for sticking around. I will see you in the next one. Take care. You are the week's goodbye.